And they'll go from the 40. To throw again. Newton steps away to his left. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they score. Touchdown, Browns. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Newton. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down, Dolphins.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it with Balaj. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Here we go. Right at the 8.
Strong right. We got 4.
On 2nd and 12, Newton. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Gun.
Here's Newton. Dancing to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Check. Gun.
Throwing on first down. Newton. And this is Parker, complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a 2nd straight play.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Newton. Forced out to his left. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Mayfield to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Ready? 180. Down to lose one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing is Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Third and long, it's Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Throwing, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Finding some room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 35-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hunt. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Point it right.
They run again with Hunt. And he coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's caught, Beckham. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. From the gun, Mayfield. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 30, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. And in this rain, they were nice and cautious there on the extra point try, and that caution was well warranted as this game is tied. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. All even as we get ready to start the fourth.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Watch out.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Browns on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Easy. 4 down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Newton. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
180! I'm here all day.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. This is taken at the 23. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
First down, Miami.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Newton on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Newton. And that will be incomplete. Defensively, mission accomplished, and now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, you're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble, but theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Alert 3.
Run. Run. Hey, Charlie.
43.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Mayfield, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Fielded at the 33. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
47-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send them after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Now it's Newton. On the move to his left. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go. Double time.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Newton to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
So it was a golden chance to go ahead here in the final moments, but he misses for a second time in this game.
Brandon, either one of those go, and they might be on their way to a victory. Instead, they're going to have to hold on here defensively just to force overtime.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. But with clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game, what do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Go. Go.
Alert, 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 alert.
Here's Mayfield, and that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at about the 14. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably...
And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off.
Interception, baby, all day, all day.
The Browns drive about to get started. Tie game, probably time for one final play here. What do you do in this spot?
Now you're thinking about Hail Mary. You've got to find a way to heave it all the way towards the end zone and give yourself a chance. Your time management sheet tells you with this amount left on the clock, you don't get cute and try and get 2 plays, because if you try that, that's all you're going to get is one, and it won't be a one towards the end zone.
How will they handle it? Let's find out. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there and a first down. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of the play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Second and 7 at the Dolphins' 41-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. They'll run again with Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. On first down, Hunt. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hunt. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They lost 4 there, and it's third down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Mayfield down. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Browns, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
100 yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. They do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they got the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Hit dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk.